Hello everyone, welcome to the stream and another day in Azeroth. Thank you guys so much for being here. Jake, 777, Amy, Rob, John, welcome. Rob, that's awesome, man. That's very cool. Yeah, I did my first vanilla era raids yesterday as well. So it's been a good time. Names that are green with a little color next to them indicate memberships. Folks that have been helping support the channel for different amounts of time. Alright, we are going to head over to Booty Bay. I need to investigate the NPCs where I can turn in all of these badges, these rep tokens that we got from the ZG run yesterday. And so that's where we're going to start.
Well met.
Jump on a little 4-minute flight. So yeah, we'll turn these in. We'll see if turning these in, maybe we'll be able to get our tier shoulders. I have this token here, and I have yet to really figure out exactly how we go about turning it in, but maybe we'll figure that out today. We shall see. And then after we get that done, I think we're going to do some 5-mans and farm some coins. We're down to 8 coins. So I was thinking maybe we do Scholomance again, and then maybe we do Stratholme, because those have a lot of bosses. And then we'll see if we get up to anything else. I'd love to do Demon Canyon again, but it's all the way over in Kalimdor. So without a Warlock or a quick way to get over there, it's kind of like really far out of the way. Karazhan Crypts I would like to do, because I haven't done that yet, but I don't know if maybe there's an attunement to get into Karazhan Crypts. I bet there's probably some kind of attunement quest. Karazhan, let me see if I can find out. Yes, there is an attunement quest for Karazhan Crypts and Sod. To begin, you need to accept a quest from a signboard in Light's Hope Chapel. Okay, so I'll have to get that done at some point. Light's Hope Chapel has a quest at a signboard. This chain involves various tasks, including rescuing an adventurer, gathering specific items, and using a torch to dispel dark. So it's a whole quest chain we're gonna have to do to get into Karazhan Crypts. Maybe we can work on that today if nothing else materializes. Drew, good morning, good afternoon to you. Welcome to the stream. Happy Thursday. Is it Easter weekend this weekend? No, it's gotta be next weekend. Can't be this weekend. Logan, good morning, good afternoon, buddy. Alright, so we need to run out to this island. This is where we're headed. From what I understand, this is where we can turn in all of the different ZG currencies that we've collected. So I'm going to run out there, we're going to check this out. As we get closer, maybe we will jump in the queue for something. We can do... I'd like to do Scholomance. Scholomance had a lot of bosses, and I'd like to farm up some coins. But ooh, nice. Very nice. I just don't want to get into the queue prematurely, so I think I'll wait until we're almost out at the island. Is it easier to get gold at 60? It depends on what you're doing. The higher level you get, the more trash vendors for, so it's always easier to get money the higher level you get. Because if you're vendoring like trash greens and trash quest items and stuff, then like those items grow in value the higher level they are. And then if you're skinning and stuff like that, then you have access to higher level skins, other stuff you can sell. It's never easy for me to make gold, so it's a tough question to answer. I always struggle to make any kind of gold. But speaking of gold, I have unread mail from the auction house, so maybe I have made a little bit of gold. And then honestly, so much depends on the server you're on and what the economy is like on that server. Because every version of the game and every server has kind of a different economy. $353 gold isn't bad. No, it's not bad. You know what I've been selling? I've been selling a lot of rune cloth. Rune cloth has sold pretty well. There have been a couple of things that I've just casually been able to sell without going through a lot of extra effort. And we've started to do some raids and other stuff, so I've been picking up a lot of crap that I can sell. A lot of it is vendor gold, like just gold I made selling crap to the vendor. What sucks is while you're leveling up, you have the 300% boost to gold from quest, but as soon as you hit level 60, you lose the buff. It would have been nice if you could have kept the buff, and then at level 60 you can go back and do all the quests, and then you can get a ton of gold from them. Because a quest gives bonus gold if you don't get XP from it. If you're doing it when you're capped out, it'll give bonus gold. So if they were tripling the bonus gold, that would be a great way to make gold. But obviously they thought about that, and they must have crunched some numbers and decided they didn't want people to be able to make gold that way, because yeah, we don't have the 300% increase to gold anymore at 60. Probably just like cut across the landscape here without much fear of being aggroed by anything. Tao, and good morning to you. Welcome to the stream. What would be really cool is if they wanted to put all the NPCs out here on this island for like flavor or for lore or whatever, for whatever reason, if they wanted to do that, it would be really cool to have a flight point out there. Adding a neutral flight point out there would be amazing. Because it just seems weird to me that I have to run out here anytime I want to turn in rep items. You know, is that weird to anybody else, or am I just a lazy frickin' jerk? Because I find it really troublesome that I would have to run out here to turn in rep items, to purchase stuff off vendors. Like, I find that a huge pain. Like, just a giant waste of my time. And to me, it only makes sense to have this stuff in a city. Preferably, if you have rep vendors and you have token vendors and stuff like that, preferably you put them in a city and you put them all in the same place. So like, here you have ZG, here you have the Molten Core guys, here you have the Karazhan guys, and they're just kind of hanging out together. They're hanging out together because they're all token rep vendor dudes. And that's what they do. And that's the only thing that makes sense to me from like, respecting the player's time standpoint. I have 2 pieces of the beast set, but the crappy thing is I have these, supposedly I have this tier shoulder token. So I don't think that's going to work with my current tier set. I might not even equip this until I get more pieces of it, I don't know. Not that 200 armor is a really great bonus, like who needs 200 armor? I really need the 4-piece set bonus on this 40 attack power. Yeah, I kind of want to work on getting that set bonus today. Like, I got to get the coins to get a couple more pieces. So, I don't know. We'll see. It depends on what happens out here. Like, I still don't understand, like, a lot of the tokens on the vendor. There are Molten Core tier set tokens that seem to cost less than my blue Beastmaster set. And I still haven't figured any of that stuff out. So, yeah. Should probably be saving all my coins right now until I have a better grasp on what items are for sale and how I interact with the vendors. Leah, good morning to you. Good afternoon. Welcome to the stream. How's the Warlock going? Did you get to level that Warlock at all yesterday? Okay, so I see quests. I see lots of different quests. Maybe I should have these quests for if I ever do ZG again. Music here is loud, but cool. You got 20 already? That's awesome. That's really cool. I think I might do a Shadow Priest for my next character. Maybe a priest. Since you're doing a warlock, I might do a priest, or maybe I'll do a mage and check out healing. What is all this stuff? I have no idea. Oh, what is this? Epics. Ooh. I like epics. In the dark times after the fall of the Gurubashi Empire, Zandalar predators used their prowess to provide sustenance for the tribe. Hunters claim to be much like our tribe's predators. To seek the hunt is to embody the essence of the predator. Your hunt in Zul'Gurub, however, will show us how you truly rate among our finest predators. Is this a hunter quest? Bring me a sampling of the paragons of power from within Zul'Gurub. Do so, and you'll take the first steps in becoming the penultimate predator. They used a lot of P words here. Predators use their prowess to provide. That's 3 P words in a row. Down here, they kind of did it again. Okay, bring the following paragons of power from Zul'Gurub. A primal Hikari bindings. I don't know. Let's take the quest. This is all... So this can get me some pretty good loot. I wish I had grabbed these quests yesterday before we did Zul'Gurub, because I probably could have gotten all of these quests done yesterday. And had apparently a few really awesome epics. Yeah. What a bummer. What's a bummer? Yeah, you did kind of grab the warlock spot out from under me, but that's okay because you want to tank on it, and I don't really have a big interest in tanking. I wouldn't mind checking out some mage heals. And then maybe when you hit 60, you can tank, I can heal, and Mitosh can do some DPS for a change. I'm sure he'd like to DPS every once in a while. A collection of heads. Okay. Hakar now dwells in Zul'Gurub, bathing in the power of our gods. Enthralled High Priest, now channel the energies of our most sacred divinities into the Soul Flayer, who will soon have strength beyond any being on Azeroth. He must be stopped. Take the sacred cord and string through it the heads of the High Priest responsible for channeling our god's energy. Another quest I could have got done yesterday. Okay. Purveyor of lost goods. You're a vendor. This could be promising. On YouTube, does it help the stream if you leave it on, even if you can't watch? Absolutely. Yeah, if you just want to let us run in the background. Absolutely helps. This server is Wildgrowth EU. This is a EU server. Alright, let's check out, before I grab every single quest, what is this about? This is like a specific type of currency, a tall eye blood icon. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure about this. This definitely doesn't match my primal Hikari shawl icon. No idea. Blood-caked silver coins. Gold massacre coins. Silver massacre coins. I don't think I have any of these coins. So I guess I don't need this guy.
Talk to me later.
Okay. Let's keep looking around. Yeah, all of my SOD gameplay is going to be on the EU server. I'll probably go to EU for Mr. Pandaria as well. It's just like the timing of the server in EU works out a lot better for when I play the game. So I'll be doing SOD on EU, and I'll very likely be switching over to EU for Mr. Pandaria / Cataclysm. What is this? Coins. Okay. This looks like these are some quests we can do for tokens. Oh my gosh. Okay, what about over this way? Just an altar? Just an altar? Like, what's going on here? I have no idea what they're doing at the altar. It really helps to have like 2 or 3 gold when you're starting a character out in SOD. Just because of the ability cost. The ability cost was really heinous on my pally when I started. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really see any vendor that I can interact with to turn these tokens in. So that's a little confusing. Have I talked to everybody? I think I've talked to everybody. Oh, wait. Wait. Okay, you're a vendor. You also have nothing that I need. Very strange. Did I get any of the blue tokens? Yeah, I did. I got a couple of things. I got some of these things. This is what I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out what I do with these, where they turn in, what they give me. So I got some of the blue things, and then I also got some coins. And that's what I'm doing out on this island. It was kind of indicated to me that this would be the place to perhaps turn these in. And now that I'm out here, I'm not seeing a guy who would let me do that. This is always my hang up with like any kind of endgame, because endgame is so different than the rest of the game, and because endgame is something I don't do a lot. I have a really hard time understanding like currencies, rep grinds, trading in tokens for stuff. Like all of the currencies they put in, it really confuses me because it's nothing like any of the rest of the game. The blue ones you can click on. Okay. See, like why wouldn't someone have known that yesterday? No, we can't. Oh, the altar. Yes, I get it now. Those people were standing at the altar and they were popping these. Yeah, you're right. So we can click on them if we're standing in the right place on this island. That's why I was supposed to come to the island, because I have to go to this altar. What's this guy doing? A bijou. Okay, I see. Let's go to the altar. You don't want to, yeah, Leah, exactly. You don't want to learn so much stuff. I realized yesterday that's kind of what it was. Like, I play WoW, and WoW is very familiar to me. And WoW is very comfortable to me because I've been playing it for 20 years. And that's kind of the biggest thing that I enjoy about it is like how soothing it is, how relaxing it is. When you're playing a game that you're super familiar with and all of a sudden you're confronted with new things, it's like an assault on your brain. Your brain is so used to knowing everything, understanding everything, and then all of a sudden you're hit with like new currencies, new reps, and your brain is like, no. At least that's what my brain does. I'm very resistant to learning new things in this game because I've played it the same way for so long. And a lot of that has not included endgame systems. See, look at this. Now we're gaining rep. We completed a quest. So we stand here, we click. I don't know what this is. What is this? That does nothing for me. Okay, and now the coins, I need to do something different with the coins. What is this? Oh, here you go. I have these green ones too. These are smaller amounts of rep, but I can still click these here at the altar. And I think that's all I have. I think that's all I have. Okay, let's go turn this quest in. We've learned something at least. So for ZG, we take the items to this altar, we click them, we get rep. So one lesson learned. Okay, he gave us another rep token for learning how to do the thing. And besides that, I guess we need one of each of these? Do I not have one of each of these? Hikari, Zulian, and Razah. Hikari, Zulian... Oh, I guess I don't. I guess I don't have all those. Okay. And so, my question now becomes... I have rep now, so let's see, like, how much rep do I have? I'm still neutral. Ooh. So that's gonna take a little bit more work to get anywhere with them. So I didn't open anything up yet because we need to get to friendly before we've really opened anything up with them. And so I'm holding on to this tier piece. Okay, nice. I'm holding on to this tier piece, and I guess I can't do anything with this yet, unfortunately. Okay, hey, at least we learned some stuff. I know how the ZG stuff works now, kind of. Sort of. Okay. Alright, I would like to just maybe run some 5-mans and collect some coins, because I would also like to get the rest of my beast... I want to get at least the 4-set bonus. Yeah, I'd like to at least get the 6 set is good too. Let's see if we can list ourselves for anything and just find a group. We don't have Mitosh here to throw a raid together in 5 minutes, so we're gonna have to fend for ourselves for a little bit. Yeah, it's hard to understand like what gear I should focus on, because there's Zandalari gear, there's the Molten Core stuff, and obviously there are raids that have come out after that. But I guess maybe it's all sort of relevant. That's kind of the harder part to understand. When you come in after so many tiers have been released, it's sometimes hard to know like what is the relevant content and what is not. I think for now, like maybe we can hearth back to Stormwind for a moment. I really... Or we can keep getting spammed by the world buff. I really don't think there's anything else out here that we need. Take ourselves back to Stormwind. Maybe we should pop ourselves in the queue for a couple of different dungeons. Maybe that would help us get a group faster. And you know what else? I need to, while we're in queue, I need to take myself out to Light's Hope Chapel. I think that's what I need to do. Because I don't think I ever got the flight point out there. And I have rep stuff that I need to turn in out at Light's Hope. And then we also have the quest chain to unlock Karazhan Crypts, and that starts out at Light's Hope. So yeah, maybe what I'll do is I'll also queue up for Stratholme, and we'll head out to the Plaguelands.
Need help?
Man, that's an 8-minute flight. Is it gonna be faster for me just to take the tram and then fly from Ironforge? Probably. That is an 8-minute flight that I really don't want to sit on. We need to get some more gnome teleporters. Would city portals at this point in SOD not be a good idea? Like having portals to the main cities somewhere? Like just each city having an area in their mage quarter where there are city portals. So that from Stormwind I can just port to any of the cities. From, you know, from Darnassus I could teleport to any... Would that not be like pretty appropriate at this point? For like the way SOD is played currently, and all the other stuff that has changed and been added to SOD. Shoot. Well, I am still very far away, but let's go ahead and see what happens. I am still probably way too far away from anything. We have to walk in pain. Yeah, it does feel like they want us to use up a lot of time traveling. It's hard to think there's any real purpose to it. We're gonna miss this tram, like for sure we've missed it. And we are going to be sitting like a bunch of bums in the subway waiting for the next tram. Come on. No! Oh, yeah, I really, like... I don't mind traveling when we're leveling up. Traveling when leveling up doesn't bother me at all. It's part of the game. But it's not really part of Endgame. And it's not really part of Endgame in a version of WoW like this, which has so much stuff to do with Endgame. So I really wish that once you hit level, like when you hit level 60, that's when you should get access to the city portals. Like when you're leveling up, you shouldn't have access to them. Because when you're leveling up, when you're questing, the travel is part of the experience. But when you hit Endgame and you just want to do Endgame content, the travel isn't part of the gameplay anymore. The travel is a time gate that just stops you from getting to the content. It stops you from getting into groups. So I feel like at 60 you should have access to city portals. There's lots of really good quality of life stuff that they can do, and they could hold it all until you're level 60. Like, let people who are leveling play in the more vanilla era. When you hit level 60, open up summon stones, add some portals, give me access to some cool flight points. Like, I want access to flight points where the rep people are at, or put all the rep people in the cities. We've already talked about that. But yeah, I feel like it needs some stuff like that. I feel like it needs some travel quality of life for level 60 characters, but maybe I'm way off base. And having portals would make it so you can actually hang out in cities that you like. That's another good point. Like, yeah, if you had portals in all the major cities, then you could hang out in any city, and you'd have access to wherever you needed to be for group content. It was TBC. They did it right away in TBC. They put city portals in Shatrath. Like, so, you know, as soon as we get into the first expansion, suddenly you have all of this, like, travel quality of life. When you were leveling a character, the first thing you wanted to try to do, like as soon as you could, you wanted to find a mage to portal you to Shatrath, and then you wanted to set your Hearthstone in Shatrath. And then that way you were leveling up, you had access to zone hop and jump to the different cities, and it was really easy. Is this Sunday really Easter? Man, I'm not ready for Easter. Me and my wife haven't talked about Easter at all. For some reason, I think we thought Easter was next Sunday. We're not like religious. So like for us, Easter is a consumer holiday. So I guess we're not really paying attention to Easter. But yeah, I guess this Friday is Good Friday, and I knew that, so I guess it should have made sense that it would be Easter. But yeah, totally not ready. Totally not ready. Me, Tosh, we started a little early today. I started at 11:30. So I think I'm going to have to wrap up my day by like 2:30, 2:45. My kid has an early swim practice today, so I started a little early. And all we've done a little bit of traveling. I went out to the ZG island where the trolls are at. I figured out how to use the altar to turn in my rep. I'm this close to friendly, but we didn't quite hit friendly. Right now, I'm in a group for something. I don't really know, but right now I was traveling out to Light's Hope Chapel. I was queued up for a couple of different things. I was queued up for Skolo, and I was queued up for Stratholme, so I don't know what I got into. But my overall intention was to make my way out to the Plaguelands prior to that. Where are these guys? Yeah, it looks like Scholomance. I'm probably just gonna drop this group for now. They're already in the dungeon, it looks like, and I'm still very far away. So yeah. So right now, I'm just heading out to the Plaguelands, trying to get the Light's Hope, because those guys were already in the run. I was just on a long rant about how SOD needs more travel options at level 60. How at level 60 things need to open up to allow a level 60 to travel around the world a little bit more efficiently. Because traveling around the world right now, it's really inconvenient, obviously, and it kind of like stops you from getting into some groups, like Exhibit A, what just happened. If there had been summoning stones, they could have summoned me. If I had city portals, I could have portaled myself over to Ironforge really fast. I need some travel options. Is there snow where we are? It's spring here, so like we have chances of snow, but we haven't got any snow in like a week. But technically it's supposed to be spring. But we'll see. I'm gonna get out here and then maybe I'll queue up for something once I'm closer. But obviously jumping into the queue when I'm super far away is not a great idea. And I really need to get out to Light's Hope. What keeps happening is I keep trying to head out to Light's Hope and then I get into a group. And then I go do a dungeon and then I don't get out to Light's Hope. So I think I'm going to focus on just getting out there, getting the flight point, turning in some of my rep tokens, and then I'll queue up. Yeah, if we could do that, I'd be down. But I'm not in a big rush, but yeah, I have time, like maybe. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I guess if I'm gonna raid during the day, I'm gonna have to like widen my schedule a little bit. There's a couple of days a week where my kid has swim super early. Like he has swim at 3:30 in the afternoon, which is like probably too early. Most days when he has swim at 4:30, and then soccer practices are at 5:30. So that gives me like more time. But a day where I have to be out the door at around like 3:15, 3:10, I don't know. I'm gonna have to like start streaming earlier or rearrange his practice schedule a little bit if I want to raid. Because I'm assuming a Molten Core run takes a few hours. Oh, that's not bad at all. I can squeeze that in whenever. Yeah, basically, I have like 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes or so today. From this point on, I have about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And then tomorrow I should have more time. Yeah, we've talked before about like what are they going to do with SOD? Could they do a season 2 of SOD and move it into TBC? That would be really cool. I feel like if they were going to do that, they probably wouldn't do that until Classic Era TBC was out for a while. Like sometime after the Anniversary realms have moved into TBC, and they can see how TBC plays out again, and they can see like player reaction to having TBC again. Maybe then. I would almost rather they just keep adding content to the base world though. And I feel like if they wanted it to be more of a Classic Plus, they would just keep adding content to the base vanilla world, but they'd actually have to add content. Like, I would love a season 2 of SOD where we can level to 70, but we do it in 3 new zones. So they make 3 new zones, or remake some zones that haven't really been used. And I would love for season 2 of SOD, we get to level from 60 to 70 in 3 new zones. We get some new 5-mans and things like that. That would be cool. Maybe they could even find a way to use the TBC raids, but without us having to go through the Dark Portal. I don't think for a Classic Plus anyone wants to go through the Dark Portal. And I feel like with SOD, like the long-term plan of SOD is to slowly over time craft it into a Classic Plus type of situation. It already basically is a Classic Plus. When you think of now, all it's really missing is zones, questing content. If they started making new questing zones and adding new questing content, then it's basically Classic Plus. And then you just keep adding stuff. You guys use Soft Reserve, which is a website? No, I've never used anything like that. That's kind of the thing, like I got really spoiled and we always had people doing loot, so it was main spec, off spec, and then if you got one piece, then the next person got the piece over you. Basically, like, oh god. Oh, you dismounted me? You level 54. You dismounted me on the first hit. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's the way that we always did loot. It's like, let's say me and you roll off on a piece that we both need. I win the piece. The next time a piece drops where me and you both need it, you get it. Because I already got a piece. So I'm not rolling off against you. I'm already at +1. And we didn't do reserves for anything, you know, or anything like that. So what I will do is, like, if I'm raiding with someone else's guild and I'm not a main character in that guild, I'll just take whatever you guys give me. So I will, if it's available to roll on, I'll roll on it. If you guys have stuff on reserve, then take the stuff you have on reserve. Like, I don't need to reserve items or anything like that. Just like whatever is the leavings that nobody needs, I can roll on. I don't really care so much about getting a bunch of loot. More so than like seeing some content and like getting some currencies. But yeah, we never did any kind of loot reserve or anything like that. And that's kind of what spoiled me to like how most guilds have to do their loot systems. Yeah, you guys only run the current phase stuff. Yeah, that's what makes sense. Especially when you're to a point where like everybody has everything, nobody needs stuff, everyone's in BIS. Yeah, obviously there's not a big reason to run multiple raid nights or do multiple tiers of raiding. So do all the raids reset every 3 days? Is that every raid that has a 3-day reset? I guess I hadn't even thought about things having resets, or like how long the reset timers were. What's the bow? You don't want to know. The bow is a meme. I meant to get a new bow today. That was one of the things I meant to do in Stormwind. I meant to shop for a stat stick. So we could get rid of our level 10 heavy short bow. Yeah, I gotta shop for a stat stick. Oof, I really did mean to do that. I know at this point it's kind of a running joke that I have this level 10 bow, but I really did mean to replace it. Yeah, I'm assuming it resets on a certain day of the week, right? Like, raids used to just reset on maintenance day. So once a week on maintenance day, the raids would reset. I'm assuming it has to be something like that. Otherwise, everyone would be all out of sync with when their timer was up. But then again, I don't know. I know nothing. Karazhan Crypts is a daily lockout. Right on. Yeah, I want to get the attunement quest for Karazhan Crypts today. It's over here somewhere, so we can do that at some point. I think I'll go ahead and queue up now. Unless Mitash, you think this run might happen? Should I jump into a 5-man or should I wait a little bit? Because if I can wait a little bit, I'll just do this quest, or I'll at least start this quest chain. But it's up to you. Yeah, they said it was on a board, which is exactly where it should be. It's a good place for it. Yeah, for now I'm going to work on the first part of this quest and see. And then we'll give that a while, and if not, we'll just start doing some dungeons. Because I do want to get some currency today. I'd like to get another piece of my Beastmaster set. The demon form looks really cool. They need to have a couple of ways to customize it. I wonder if, like the druid forms, if they would consider adding different demon forms over time that you could transmog into. Because, you know, every once in a while it's nice to have, like, a visual change of pace. Even when something looks completely badass. Every once in a while, maybe even just like a palette change, like a color change could be nice. Maybe instead of being purple, they can do like a fell green. They could do a fire red, a fell green. Maybe even like a yellow, like a light possessed demon. It's really cool getting all the runes at level 1 now that you can level up as a melee warlock. Because previously, you didn't really get that rune until you were a higher level. So, like, you had to play a lot of the game without it. It's really nice that you just get that stuff right away now. I don't think I need any of these other quests. We just need to find the command board with the attunement quest on it. A Baja Blast Blue. There you go. Mountain Dew sponsored Warlock skins. Yeah, Warlock skins brought to you by PepsiCo. What's this? calling all adventurers and treasure hunters. Let it be known that the Kirin Tor has authorized the disbursement of considerable funds to any individuals who are able to descend into the crypts below Karazhan and recover a particular magical artifact. Any other treasure, curios, or coin recovered is of no consequence to the order and may be retained as additional compensation. Interested parties should report to. The bottom of the note has been torn off, and the rest of the details are missing. It appears as if someone was looking to hire adventurers to recover something valuable from below Karazhan Crypts and Deadwind Pass. You can't be sure who posted the flyer or where to find them, but the idea of a considerable reward from a well-established and deep-pocketed organization such as the Kirin Tor, as well as a cache of hidden treasure up for the taking, is an admittedly interesting prospect. Travel to Deadwind Pass and investigate the crypts behind Karazhan Tower. Okay. Okay. Flight point. Flight point. And then, are there rep vendors here that I can turn in my tokens to? I don't see any question marks. Maybe that lady was back in the other Plaguelands area. Hard to say. Oh yeah, Scourge. She's the person I need to turn these into. Yes. Yeah. Let's do that, Mitesh. Yeah, that sounds good. Scholomance, Strat, Living and Undead. That sounds perfect. You have a raid tonight. There you go, man. Yeah, we can, as much as you have time for, we can do whatever. Yeah. We can do whatever. I think I'm gonna jump over and turn these rep items in really fast. Back at Chilwyn Camp. I should really replace this bow. That's what I should do. But maybe it'll have to wait. I think we're going to try to do both of them. I like Scholomance because so many bosses are packed so closely together. Yeah, we're still using the level 10 bow, yeah. I meant to pick something up today in Stormwind. You know how I am, I just forget stuff. I just forget. I am absent-minded. Live Life Strong with the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. That's incredibly generous. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the 5 folks. Thank you guys very much for hanging out as we play some SOD today. It's a guild run. Everybody wants coins. That's nice. Gotta love those coins. We're going Scholomance first. Scholomance is, yes, this is Scholomance right here. Okay. So I'm actually flying where I need to be. For a change, I'm actually on the way to where I need to be. Would the Ashbringer be good for the build? I mean, I'm a hunter, so every weapon is a hunter weapon. Basically, I equip anything and it's good for me. That's what I've been told, at least. Alright, the rep lady is over here.
Well met. Farewell.
I don't quite have enough. Apparently we need a lot.
See you around. Be careful.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So we're not ready for that yet. We need a whole bunch. I think paladins are just overpowered in SOD. And it's mainly because they're great tanks and healers, and they can DPS. It's like they're finally good at all of their roles, so all you see are paladins everywhere. That's what happens when you make a class like good at everything. You just start feeling like you see way too many of them. It feels like the opposite of retail, where I remember like everyone hating paladins. Especially like it was okay in season 3. By the time we got to season 4, like nobody wanted a paladin. A paladin's a lot of fun to play with the sword and board. Sword and board is a blast. There's a Pally storyline that goes through the Scarlet Enclave story, and lots of people want to see it through as a Pally. That's a good point, too. Didn't SOD add, like, a quest line for Pallies where you got a squire or something? You had, like, a little squire that was following you around? Is that a real thing or something I made up? Am I not going to be the last person at the instance for a change? That's a nice change of pace. If only we could use this. This convenient stone. The suspicious obelisk jutting from the ground near... If only we could get people to click on this and summon another player, and then another player, and then another player, and then we could go. If only we lived in such a strange and brave world. I could do some fishing. I wish I could. I wish I could fish, and I kind of worry about the kind of fish I would fish up in the Plaguelands. I don't think I'd want to eat any of the fish out here, but yeah, unfortunately, professions are something that we kind of left behind. I got excited to see Endgame stuff, and I wanted to make sure that I could actually get into Endgame at all, so I kind of like gave up on professions on this character. The next character we level up, we're going to be better with professions, because we're going to have more time. We're going to take our time. So when we do the priest, I'm going to do herbalism alchemy, I think. And we'll make sure that we keep that going. Skinning, you know, skinning died for us like around Ungoro Crater. Like, we got close to saving skinning, but we didn't quite do it. Fishing died a long time ago. Ooh, I can talk to one of the NPCs. Oh yeah, these are the ghosts of the people. Will I read all that? I don't think I'll read all this because I feel like it's gonna be a lot of reading. If you want the story of if you want the whole story of Scholomance, Noble, on YouTube. Noble has a good video that like really goes into the entire story of Scholomance. It's really well done. And if you want basically if you want any story about a zone or a dungeon or anything like that, I would say check out Noble's channel. He has a good narrating voice and his videos are really well put together. So yeah. What I could have done, I could have been swinging at stuff. We do have an axe that I was kind of leveling up, but I don't really think the axe is better than the sword. It's pretty equivalent. And the swing speed is about the same. Everything is about the same. I don't think there are any mobs on this island for us to fight. Although I could be wrong. I didn't see any mobs. It just looks empty. Am I gonna do the Onyxia attunement questline? Maybe eventually. Yeah, I don't know. I'm taking things one day at a time. I'm just kind of taking Endgame one day at a time. I get on and we figure out what we're gonna do, and then we try to do some stuff. And if I take it one day at a time, you know, depending on how many days I put into it, we could see lots of content. So there's lots of things to do, lots of stuff to attune to. Lots of content out that I haven't seen before, so it's, yeah, everything's on the table, but I don't know. I don't have any, like, concrete plans for specific content. My plans are do as much as I can while I'm having fun. Alright, to sum up the coin vendors and the tier tokens, there are 4 bits of tier 1 and tier 2 you can buy. The tokens are handed in to NPC vendors at the entrance of the raid. So tier 1 is Molten Core, tier 2 is Blackwing Lair. And so those are the tokens that we can buy off the Booty Bay vendor for the Molten Core tier tokens, and then I have to go to the entrance of Molten Core to turn that in. Isn't the entrance of Molten Core inside of BFD? Or inside of BRD, sorry. The ancient tokens are Blackwing Lair stuff. Okay. The music is not off, but there just isn't any music here. It's just like, it's ominous tones. Here I can turn the ominous tones up for you guys. The MC entrance is where you get the attunement quest. Okay. I haven't turned that in yet, so I still have the indicator on my map of where to go to turn that one in. Okay, so in that case, here's like a follow-up to that. Should I not bother buying the Beastalker set? Because the blue pieces are more expensive than the tier tokens for Molten Core. So instead of spending 50 on this, I could have spent 30 on a Molten Core chess piece token. I could have traveled to the Molten Core area and turned that in. And there's no other requirements except that I buy the token off the Booty Bay vendor. I don't need a certain amount of rep or a different item. The blue, long story short, the blue set isn't worth it. Oh, see, that's really important. Because the blue set is more expensive than the epic set. It's just that when you're a player that doesn't understand how to interact with the epic set, you end up in my position where you bought 2 pieces of blue gear that realistically you don't need. I could have had 3 pieces of tier 1, maybe even 4 pieces of tier 1 by now, had I understood that I should just buy the Molten Core tokens and then take them to the guy outside of the raid. So it's good to know that now. Yeah, it's good to know that now, but it's like, okay. I wasted some coins. You need to be in a raid group to zone in. So he's inside the instance. Oh yeah, it's the window. Jump to the window next to the quest giver. So I need to be... I don't know. I just have a hard time understanding the why of that. Why? Why? There's so many whys, okay? Because like I have to go to Booty Bay. I have to buy the token. I have to go to the Molten Core entrance area. I have to get into a raid group. I have to go find the guy in the raid. I gotta talk to the guy. Then I trade in the token to get the item. Why? What's the point of that? Why don't I just buy the actual item from the vendor in Booty Bay? I'm having a, like, conceptually, it almost makes me angry. I don't know why. Like, it actually triggers me. The idea that I basically have to do what amounts to, like, just running around. Like, I have to go on a little errand just to get the item that I've already paid for it. Once I get it at Booty Bay, I've already paid for the item. I've already farmed the currency, I've gone to the vendor, I've paid for the item. And now to actually use the item, I have to get into a raid group, travel to Molten Core, find the guy, find a window. Like, I don't know why it aggravates me so much. Because I guess I feel like it's really disrespectful of my time, and it adds nothing to the game. It's a loophole to jump through, and that kind of thing really gets at me. That kind of game design really gets at me more than anything else will ever irritate me. Oh, I hate it. I fucking hate it so much. I'll do it, you know, I don't have a choice, but yeah, I'm just... Maybe I'm the only person in the world that gets triggered by this. I don't know. I probably have some deep-seated problems. And it almost seems intentionally designed to make it so people waste their coins on gear they don't need. And it seems like it just makes it impossible for someone like that doesn't have an abundant source of information in their chat to tell them things. It makes it so that kind of person is going to fail. I guess that's part of why it makes me... I feel like it could be a big turn-off to people who hit level 60 and then they have all this content they could do, but the access to the content and the gear is so like opaque that I think a lot of people just give up. I think a lot of people hit 60 and they're like, I don't know what's going on or what I'm supposed to do, so I guess I'm done with this character. And that's a damn shame because there's just so much good content here. And there is a good gearing system here, but it's like I feel like a lot of people are missing out on it because of how opaque the endgame is. And I feel like they've made it intentionally hard to get into it. They've made it intentionally hard to access. Lael, good afternoon, man. Welcome to the stream. I swear I'm gonna try to loot stuff. Starting right now, I'm gonna try to loot everything. I'll also go ahead and use my damage aura. I'll put my damage aura up. Obviously, it doesn't seem to matter if I press buttons or not, but I will try. Yeah, Wayne says, yeah, I gave up on Endgame and I started a new tune. It was too confusing. It is too confusing, yeah. It's like, it's just so many, they put so many loopholes between you and getting the good gear. And honestly, with those epic pieces on the vendor, they shouldn't even be selling the blue pieces anymore because the blue pieces are an idiot trap. I fell into the idiot trap. I spent 80 tokens on gear that I don't need. I spent 80 coins on gear that is bad compared to the gear that I could have had. That's better gear that I could have had for cheaper if only I understood what was going on. So yeah, it is confusing, and it shouldn't be confusing. It shouldn't be confusing at all. It should be really accessible, because the game is a lot of fun. They have everything in a really good place. They just need to make it so people understand when you hit 60, you get these currencies. When you get these currencies, you go here and you spend them on gear. And that should be it. It should be a two-step process. Step 1, do content for currency. Step 2, go to vendor, spend currency. That's it. It's only a 2-step process. Adding more steps does not make the game better or anything more interesting or more immersive. Adding steps confuses people. Adding steps causes people to stop playing. You have to take out steps. And they know this, you know, they're not stupid. They're not stupid. They understand these things. So it's like they have to make these things complicated intentionally. Because there's no way I'm smarter than them. So they have to understand that it would be better to remove steps from a process to make it better for players. And then they still choose not to. Maybe that's where my anger comes from. I see a willful disregard for players. We got an epic shield, 10 stamina, and block value increased by 32. Lord Blackwood's buckler. I'm not gonna rant about this the whole time, but I feel like it's something that needs to be talked about a little bit. I'm looting. See, I'm completely... They got the pull. They can kill all the guys. I need to focus on looting stuff. It's a hunter shield. Yeah, everything is a hunter. If only we could do like a spear and a shield as a hunter. Spear and shield hunter would be OP. Yeah, it was that way in vanilla because game design was archaic in the beginning. Yeah, exactly. And just getting to endgame took 400 hours and no one was able to do it except a few elite people. So like, yeah, having these complicated systems might have made sense in actual vanilla era. But that's not where we live in, and that's not, you know, this version of the game is nothing like actual vanilla. Not when you hit endgame. When you hit endgame, all the similarities to vanilla era kind of stop, except for like the visual content that you're seeing in front of you. Everything else is different. Man, the next class we roll though, I need to do something with AoE. I need to do something that has an AoE build, and so I have to figure out what that's going to be. Does a mage have decent AoE? The only classes I've seen crank out a ton of AoE have been warlocks. Basically just warlocks. Every time I see a warlock in a group and there's AoE pulls, they're always rocking so much more DPS than anybody else. And that's really the only class I've seen do that. I am going to go ahead and feign death here, because I don't want to die. Warlocks are killing it. Yeah, maybe I still will go Warlock. They have some kind of thing that makes them do like AoE shadow bolts or something, and it's always like a ton of damage. And I haven't seen any other class... I saw a priest get close once. And I think that was just Mind Seer. I think they were just Mind Searing the enormous packs that were being pulled. I don't know. The Shadow Bolt thing is a rune, basically. Yeah, it's like they can cast Shadow Bolt and it hits multiple targets, and it seems really, really cool. But you'd think Mage has to have some kind of AoE build. You know, it's a Mage, so it should have good AoE. I just haven't seen it put on display. I feel like nobody plays Mage. Balanced Druid is top of the meters in the new raid. That's probably like an AoE thing too. They have Starfall or something, right? They have some big AoE they can fire off on occasion. Yeah, I don't know if I can be a balanced druid. I don't know. I heard they have star form though, that you can get star form so you don't have to be a boomkin. So that's cool, I guess. I just, well, I guess it doesn't have to be something that has the best AoE. I just need a button to push when I'm in an AoE situation. It's really painful as a DPS class to have no AoE buttons at all. It's kind of weird. You know, I try to single target stuff. I just never feel like I'm able to help out in any of the pulls. Maybe that will change as I get better gear. Like, maybe my gear just sucks. Maybe I'm just not paying attention enough. But yeah, it's a bummer to think, like, I'm capable of good DPS, maybe on a single target, but on AoE packs, like, I can't really do anything to help out the group. Yeah, I knew I was missing a rune. I don't know what it was, but oh yeah, rapid kill. No, cat-like reflexes. Yeah, are we missing any other runes? No, everything else is good except cat-like reflexes. Is a blizzard mage not good for AoE? I don't know. That's the thing, is like, I don't know anything about the sod mage, and I don't see a lot of sod mages. I haven't seen a lot. I've seen a lot of warlocks doing amazing AoE DPS. I've seen a couple of shadow priests doing some pretty decent AoE DPS, but I've never seen a mage. So it's really hard to say. The mage is one of the worst classes at the moment. That explains why nobody plays it. I don't want to be that person. Hey guys, don't stand in poison, okay? Poison clouds are bad. Poison clouds are bad. Oh, yeah. Most of the AOE with a hunter is ranged AOE, right? If I wanted to have a ranged build, then I could probably have a ranged build. Do I really want to have a ranged build? I've tossed the idea around in my mind a little bit. It's not something that I'm super interested in. Rather than having a ranged build on this character, I'd rather eventually just level a different class. So yeah. I just like... It never looks like I'm really in it, but I think the damage effect extends all the way out around it. Because I'm always thinking like, well, I'm basically out of this. But being basically out of it is not out of it. I'm still very much standing in it. I gotta put this back up. Yeah, I feel like when we have good gear, we're going to be really good on boss fights. It just sucks to not contribute at all the rest of the time. It's like 85% of the time you're not on a boss fight. 85% of the time you're clearing trash. And go for a hybrid build? Like do some ranged for AoE and some melee? I don't know how that would work out. I'd have to have a ranged weapon first to try anything. That would be step one. Step one, get a good ranged weapon. Step two, level the ranged weapon up for 3 hours because you have no ranged weapon skill. Step three, question mark, question mark, question mark. Step four, profit. I think that's how that goes. Most of the tier sets add a huge part of your class rotation into your spec. Oh. That's good to know. I didn't know that. We leveled his melee all the way. Yes, I leveled his melee all the way without a pet. Yeah, we don't even have the... We didn't even do the quest to let you train pets. This hunter cannot train pets. So yeah, we leveled up all the way with Lone Wolf as a melee. So that's all we've done on this character, and that's probably all we ever will do in reality. Yeah, we have explosive traps. So every once in a while, if everything's on cooldown, or if it's a really big pull, I'll lay down an explosive trap and, like, you know, we get the damage from that. But sometimes I'm not even sure if the damage is worth the global cooldown that I spend laying the trap down, honestly. But what do ranged hunters get? We get, you get multi-shot. Is multi-shot that good? Because what else do they get? Do they get arrow barrage or something like that from like a later expansion? They get volley, okay. I mean, maybe that's a way to go. Maybe a way to go is to have a ranged build that we do on trash, and then have a melee build that we do on big bosses. Maybe that is a way. I don't know. Maybe in the sake of like trying it out, we could do a dual spec. I would like it if on dual spec, when you change your spec, it would also automatically change your runes, because the difficult part is you could change your spec right before a boss, but then you have to go through and individually change all of your runes, which takes a couple minutes. Well, not a couple minutes. It takes longer than most groups want to wait before pulling a boss. But if you were to be able to change your spec and have that flip all of your runes, that would be amazing. Because then you could run ranged through trash and then quickly flip over to melee right before the boss. It would be nice that, like, this pack right here I can't really help with because they're gonna explode. If I'm there when they die, they're gonna hit me. But if I were ranged for this part, I could just pluck them. There's an add-on that streamlines runes so that you just have to click it to change the rune instead of having to click the rune and then click the item. So you just click the rune and then it sockets it instead of having to click. It takes a click out, right? It removes a click basically. That could be a good half measure. That could be a half measure. Yeah, bags and gold, especially starting off in SOD. Bags and gold. You definitely feel like you don't have bag space ever, and you don't have enough gold to afford your abilities. It's a tough start. We don't need any of this stuff. Thomas, good afternoon, buddy. Thanks for hanging out with the stream and saying hello. I appreciate it. TJ Way, welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here today. It's auto-looting, so as long as I loot it, it's gonna loot everything lootable. I don't have to manually scroll down to loot the next part. A lot of times we're looting coins, but you're not seeing the coins in the table because of how full it is, but we don't have to manually do that, thankfully. When you have auto-loot on, it's gonna grab stuff even if it's further down the loot list. This is a great place to farm coins. Yeah, absolutely. There's so many bosses. Lots of bosses, small square footage. Ventrix, I appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out with the stream, stopping by today. Alright, so that was Skolo. I think we're gonna do Stratholme next. Oh my god, I'm stuck in here. Somebody let me out. Apparently I don't have the key to Scholomance. I don't even know where you would get that key. Mitosh sounds good, man. We'll do Strat Living side. That's perfect. After that, I will probably work on getting myself attuned to Karazhan Crypts. And maybe I'll even see if I can pick up a bow and experiment with getting a bow leveled up. Could be something we could do. Justin, good afternoon to you and welcome to the stream. Thanks for being here today. I took a bad turn. I definitely do not want to go into the ruins of Anderhall. That was a wrong turn. We just finished up with the Scholomance run, now we're going to do a Stratholme Living side. And after that, I think I'm going to do an attunement quest for Karazhan Crypts, and maybe do a little dual spec with the Hunter and check out some range stuff. We'll see. We'll see what time we're at after Stratholme Living side.
Hi, how are you?
We are going to Light's Hope. I am going to go bio really fast. I will be right back. Yeah, I'm probably gonna have to like go back to like Elwyn Forest to level up my bow. And just make a smooth progression through a bunch of zones. I might have to level up the bow off stream. I don't know if me leveling up ranged weapons is necessarily going to be good content, because it's going to take some time. But we might have to just check it out at some point. Alright, all the zones we're in, all the dungeons we're in have like no music. They just don't have like any decent music. Here we go. I'll level the bow to 300 and then I'll get an epic gun to drop. Yeah, that could happen too. I think I would just like specialize, you know. Maybe I just only use bows. I don't know how feasible that is. But yeah, you're right. I have to level up bows and guns, and that's gonna be pretty time consuming to get them all the way up to 300. I caught a summon. Right on. I'll take it. I will take it. top song right there? Yes, this is the best song in the soundtrack, probably. Well, best part of a song. It's like just one refrain of a song. But it is very good. That's why I always play Dun Moreau music. Is anyone else rolling on the Scourge Stones? I'm not sure. I think we're all just greeting on them. I'm not sure if they're passing or if they're needing. I'm just greeting on them. I'm not really sure. Let's see. Judging by how many we have, we're probably all just greeting on them. 'Cause I don't have very many. Well, there's greed and then there's need, and need takes priority over greed. So if everybody greeds on it and I roll need on it, then I'm going to get it. If two people roll need, then we'll roll dice, it'll compare the numbers, then whoever rolled higher will get it. But basically it's need over greed. So if everyone's greeding, everybody rolls and the highest roll wins, and any needs take priority over greeds. And then then you can hit the X, you could pass, and you can not roll for it at all. So those are your three options. Greed, need, or pass. Mitosh, you're fine, man. I understand you guys got stuff to go do. You can go as fast as you want. Everything's dying so fast that, you know, on my best day I'll get like 1 or 2 hits in. In the EU, it's like 7 in the evening. Yeah, it's 1 o'clock for me Eastern time, but in the EU it's like 7. 6, 7, or 8, I think, depending on exactly where you're at. Yeah, the time difference is why I'm playing on the EU servers. So that way, when I'm playing in the middle of the day, which is when I play, it's basically raid time and peak activity time for the server. That way there's people on doing stuff, like Exhibit A. So when I play on US servers and I play during the day, there's people on and they're playing, but they're not often doing a lot of content. So this works out a lot better for me. Now I have to figure out when I'm going to level up a Cataclysm character so that I can do the same thing with Mist of Pandaria when it comes out. I don't know when I'm going to have the time for that. Maybe next time they do a Joyous Journeys. I'm a sheep, I'm a sheep, I'm a sheep. I'm a sheep. Okay. Thank you. There we go. I'm pretty sure that is the run. Mitosh, I really appreciate it. Let the guildies know that I appreciate their time. I really appreciate you guys helping me out, running me through this. I hope you guys have a good raid. I am going to run out of here because I think we're going to go do the quest chain to get attuned to Karazhan Crypts, so I'm not going to hearth out. Mitosh, I would be interested, yeah. I think so. Yeah, that does sound interesting. I feel like I need a lot more gear before I'm actually doing content, but... yeah. A casual friend spot sounds okay. If I'm ever gonna be a main raider again, it's a long ways away. my like main raiding days might be behind me, but if they're not, I'm still a long ways off. They made it look easy. Yeah, a lot of the people that we're playing with have a lot of gear. So they're just kind of helping me out. They're getting some coins, some currency they need too, but they're kind of helping me out with some content. So that's why they made it look really easy, because to them it is really easy. But yeah. Yeah, with a normal group, it probably would have been a bit more challenging, perhaps. That's okay. We're gonna get into challenging content in a few days, I'm sure. Next time I see the key to the city drop, I have to roll need on it. That way I actually have a key to the city. Alright, thanks again, guys. I really appreciate it. Devs, I appreciate that. Thanks for hanging out with the stream. Alright, from here, I have to get to Karazhan Pass. I think I need to... maybe I should just hearth back to Stormwind and fly over to Duskwood. Would that be the fastest way to get to Karazhan? I feel like maybe it would. Yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna do. I think we'll hearth back to Stormwind, actually. And then we should just be able to fly to Duskwood. Maybe we'll check the auction house and just see what kind of bows are available. Maybe we can go ahead and pick up dual spec at our class trainer. Picking up dual spec would probably be a good idea. And then we do have some currencies. At some point today, I'm going to try to find the Molten Core vendor to turn this in. I don't know if that's going to pan out or not, but we might try. All right, let's go to the auction house first and just see like what's on sale as far as bows. We haven't trained guns yet, so I really would need a bow. I don't want to spend too much money. We're probably only looking at like level 56 to 60 bows. There's really not a lot. The eagle horn bow is like as good as it gets. And yeah. A level 58 bow for 190. Oh, I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. That's a lot of money to drop on a bow that's not very good. I think I'm gonna wait for now. Let's hold off on all that. Ooh, we got mail. Let's go check the mail. Yeah, we could buy bags. I don't want to spend too much money right now. I'm very hesitant to spend really any money. There might be a decent bow on the coin vendor, then we'll definitely check before we spend anything. I'll go grab dual spec, that way we have dual spec unlocked. That way we have it for whenever we're ready to build that spec. Alright, I think that's pretty good.
Careful.
It's a crossbow though, okay. Crossbows, maybe we learn crossbows in Stormwind? Maybe, I don't know where we learn crossbows actually. I'm gonna assume we would learn them in Stormwind.
King's honor, friend.
No. I have no idea. Maybe Darnassus then. I don't know where we would learn crossbows. Alright, for now I'm going to fly over... no, let's go get our dual spec first, and then we'll go over to Deadwind Pass. It could be Ironforge. Guns are in Ironforge. I thought bows were in Darnassus, and I thought crossbows were Stormwind. But apparently... maybe I've already learned it. Oh, okay. Guys, I already picked up all of the weapon skills. We have crossbows and guns. We just don't have any skill. With bows, we actually have 160, because sometimes I hit stuff occasionally just to pull it. So we do have a little bit of skill with bows. So that's good.
Great to meet you. Safe travels. Hello.
I'm also going to do a respec on my current build. I think I'm just going to get my talent points refunded here so I can change a couple things about the current build. And I think that's all we need here. And we'll look at the current build while we're in flight, and I think I'm going to change a couple aspects of it.
What can I do for you? Careful.
Alright, let's take a look. This is going to be our melee build. And all we really need to do in survival, we need to get down to Wyvern Sting. I'd like to save points to be able to put points in improved aspect of the Hawk, because the way this aspect of the Falcon works, we can get melee procs off of having improved aspect of the Hawk. So, like, ideally I have points to get into this. Let's see if we can make it happen. So, we will go... we'll grab Monster Slaying and Human Slaying. We'll grab Savage Strikes. I don't need entrapment, but I don't really need deflection either. This is where the survival tree it's not really a great tree. Because oftentimes you feel like you have to waste points. I guess if I'm gonna do either of these, I don't really need deflection. I shouldn't be getting hit a lot anymore. So I guess I'll just take a couple points to get us down into survivalist. After that, increase hit chance. Yeah, sure-footed. Okay. We could do clever traps. That would increase damage. So I guess that would be okay for the times when we do use a trap. 3 points in killer instinct. Maybe we do improved feigned death. Or maybe we go further into entrapments. Decrease the chance to resist could be good. I'll go here and here. We'll do lightning reflexes to 5, and we'll do wyvern sting. That's very cool.
Feel it.
That's the goat. You got the goat.
Yeah, I got the goat.
Nice.
Can you? Oh, wait, well, hello, chat.
Yeah, I unmuted you for a second. Don't abuse it.
Okay. So I get to come in here more often.
Maybe.
This is the Cult of the Lamb goat plushie I just got. You should play the game. It's a good game. Not sponsored. It's not sponsored.
All right.
But Dad would definitely, if he got a sponsor from them, would you take the sponsor, Dad?
I don't know.
I would.
How's school going?
I finished school actually.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, thanks for showing me the stuff. I appreciate it.
That is cool. I think it's cool. You even is sitting down. Well, I don't really know.
I love you.
We've been hesitant.
Thanks for sharing.
Bye.
See you in a little bit.
Everybody.
We got swim today.
I know.
Alright, we never finished our spec. Okay. So if I want to take Aspect of the Hawk, I should just grab that now. And then we have to spend the rest of our points here. So we'll go efficiency. And we'll do lethal shots. And we're not going to make it down into mortal shots, unfortunately. Oh my god, where am I? I feel like I've made a terrible mistake. At least no, I've not been in this area, so I'm just kind of blindly running through. Hoping that I don't get dismounted too many times. Okay, as he says that, he gets dismounted. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I really don't know what I want to do. It's like you kind of end up wasting 5 points no matter what kind of build you do as a melee hunter. It feels like you're just always wasting 5 points somewhere. Beast Mastery. Yeah, there's really nothing here that I need. Yeah, there's just nothing that I need. It's actually kind of depressing to have 5 talent points that I have no need for. I could take some points back here. We could finish up some talents. But that's about all we can do. We'll take Improved Feign Death. We'll take Trap Mastery, 2nd point. We'll take Entrapment for 5 just to finish it off. There we go. That is our melee build. The human lying before you is indeed quite dead. She does not appear to have any obvious wounds or trauma. The only thing odd about the body is a look of intense terror on her face. It's almost as if this woman died of fright. Oh. A sudden and oppressive darkness begins to fall over you as you kneel down. You notice that all the nearby light seems to darken and fade as the darkness seems to reach out to you. These are no natural shadows. A quick glance over to the entrance to the crypt nearby tells you without a doubt that this malign darkness is coming from the crypt itself, with inky black tendrils seeking more light to snuff out. You shudder as the hairs on the back of your neck stand up. The gloom seeping from the entrance of the crypt seems to defy all normal logic and reason. No light enters or deters the darkness, and no light inside seems to escape it. You strongly suspect that venturing into the crypt as you are now could be the end of you. You'll need to somehow find a way to get past this darkness if you wish to proceed. You seem to recall that there was an agent of Dalaran at a camp to the north. Perhaps she knows more about the dead adventure and this strange darkness. They need to run these quests that they're writing, like all of the new quests they're writing for Sod. They need to run them through ChatGPT and have ChatGPT kind of clean them up a little bit. Since obviously they don't read them out loud themselves and they don't employ any editors, they need to at least run them through ChatGPT. And just ask it to make it more readable, Blizz. Ask ChatGPT to make it more readable. I can't get out of here? I guess I live here now. This is our life. Okay, we're safe. We made it out. Alright, we need to travel all the way back to the north to talk to this agent. Oh, is this, oh, it's Agent Kina. I think have we interacted with her before? That name sounds familiar. Sounds familiar. Use the torch. Yeah, I'm like, I don't think I have a torch yet. No one gave me a torch. Remember the tier 1 and 2 tokens off the Booty Bay coin vendor when you use the token to exchange for the tier item at the entrance. Yeah, we'll have to grab those first. I don't know if I'll be able to do that today, but we'll see if I have time to make it out there. Gonna try. Want to get this done first. And then if I have time, we'll go investigate the Molten Core vendor. After stopping by Booty Bay. As it is right now, I still have this. I still have this ZG shoulder set that I can't do anything with that yet because I don't think I have the rep I need. We're almost friendly with the trolls, but not quite. Would I take the Blue Origin space flight if given the chance? That's a random question. I like it. No, I don't know. Maybe. Yeah, probably. I guess because, like, the thing is, I don't like traveling. I don't even want to travel over an ocean in the plane, but I guess the point is, like, if the last thing I do in life is explode in space, I guess that's pretty freaking good. Like, how many people get to explode in space or disintegrate in the atmosphere? Not many people get to go out that way. So even though I'm pretty sure that, like, flying to space is basically signing my own death warrant, I'd probably do it. Because, like, it's, you know, it's not going to get better than that. You'll see the Earth from space, you'll have an existential moment, and then maybe you burn up in the atmosphere. I don't know.
Hello.
Yeah, obviously.
See you later. Have a good one. Safe travels.
Did not read that at all. Let's back that up. Yeah, of course now I can't find it.
You need something? See you around.
Let's see. Oh, I see. Yes, the body you claim to have found does indeed seem to match my recollection of one of the adventurers who passed through here recently. There were 5 of them, as I recall. I urged them against going any further, but they could not be dissuaded. It seems my warnings were well founded, as I've not seen any of their number pass by since. I feared the worst, and, well, you say she was the only body you found? If that's true, mayhap there are other survivors somewhere in the past. Mayhap. Mayhap there are. Search for any survivors of the unfortunate adventuring party and try to learn what you can about what happened in the crypt. Search for any survivors of the unfortunate adventuring party. Okay, so it looks like we're going into a cave in the southern part of the zone. Go underwater. I would never go underwater. No, you couldn't convince me to get into a submersible. Because it's like exploding in the atmosphere and disintegrating immediately is one thing. Being crushed to death in the ocean is something else. Yeah, I'll pass on being crushed to death in the ocean, yeah. Not something I need. If Katy Perry could make it back to Earth, so could I. I don't think they had her piloting it, and like, what makes you think I'm more capable than Katy Perry? I think the opposite would prove to be true. She's probably a more competent human being than I am. I suppose I'm going into the ogre cave. The man stirs slightly as you approach, opening a single eyelid almost imperceptibly to peer at you. Initially, he seems seriously injured, but now you aren't entirely sure. The man's one open eye locks with yours. Psst, hey you. Yes, you. Think you can get me out of here? I've been lying here playing dead for hours, but it's only a matter of time before these damn ogres remember I'm here and come to eat me, or worse. This cage is locked up pretty tight, but one of these brutes should have the key. See if you can find one and let me out. I'd certainly be in your debt. I'm going to keep playing dead while you go get to work. Now go, quietly. So I guess now we kill them until one of them drops a key. What could be the or worse? I think you could probably use your imagination on that one. And then when you use your imagination for it, don't put any of it into text or words. But I'm sure we could speculate internally. Maybe I should go outside. It seemed like there might be more ogres outside. And I mean, I guess it depends on how they intend to prepare you. Are they just gonna kill you? Like clean kill and then they're gonna eat you? Because a clean kill and then they eat you, you're not gonna be around for the eating part. Are they gonna hack bits off of you and keep you alive and eat you one bit at a time? Well, that could be really bad. Are they gonna torture you first before they eat you? Like they could flay you and skin you alive. That would be pretty crappy. So yeah, there's lots of worse things that could happen besides like getting killed and eaten, you know? But it's a kid's game, so they're not going to go into it. World of Warcraft's a kid's game, right? Jan, good afternoon to you and welcome to the stream. Thanks for stopping by. It closes on his face. It's like, yeah, we had it open. They used the Indiana Jones model for this guy. I'm kind of annoyed. Is he following us now? He says thanks. He's doing some roleplay. So you say you came for the treasure beneath Karazhan. I'm in no shape to head back there now, so I'll tell you what I know. Even if it might get you killed, we can't talk here though. There's a small camp along the main road to the north of here. There was a mage camped out there when my party passed by before. I'm heading there to patch myself up. If you want to learn more, you can find me at that camp. That must be where the lady was at. Oh, and the name is Jones. Harrison Jones. It is Harrison Jones. Okay, at least it's actually him. It would have been really annoying if they had used the character model, but it was somebody else. Because that's kind of like a specific character model. Did my Questie just never update? Because, yeah, we got the key, we let the guy out, and Questie seems a little bit confused about what we need to do next. It still says I haven't freed him. Yeah, I'm not really sure if we broke this one or what. This is I think I broke the quest. I don't know what's going on. We let him out. We had a bunch of roleplay, but the quest did not proceed. Now I don't really know what part of the quest I am stuck on. You guys saw that, right? We got the key, we let him out, he did some role play. Now we're letting him... What do I gotta do here to get... Oh, now it worked. Why didn't it work when he did all the role play? That was a little buggy. I think they probably need to look at this quest and, you know, try to make sure it works the first time would be good. You wonder why there's no ogre ladies? Probably like lack of imagination, maybe. And they're not a playable race, so they don't need to worry about it. He thought they made ogre ladies at one point, but they were so horrible they were never spoken of again. Now, sounds made up. I've never seen any ogre ladies. Nothing in the lore talks about it either. There are no ogre women talked about in the lore. There are no female ogre characters. There's a female half ogre in Feralus in Classic Era. There's a female half ogre quest giver, and just like old boy, what's his name? He wears a mask. She wears a mask too, so you can't even see like what their faces would look like. I can't remember the other guy's name who's a half ogre. He's a hunter. His bear's name is Misha, but I don't recall what his name is. Really can't thank you enough for the help back there. You really saved my bacon. I've been chatting with this nice young woman while waiting for you, and I think she might have some ideas to help you get into that Forsaken Crypt, if you're really going to insist on pushing your luck. I'm getting ahead of myself, though. I believe I owe you some information. Listen to Harrison Jones while he tells you what happened in the Karazhan Crypts. Can we do it as like a cutscene? That'd be cool. Is he telling us in... Yeah, he's telling us in text here. A few weeks back, I caught wind of a rumor that some mage was in search of something in the crypts. He's talking too fast for me. It's not uncommon for a mage to collect magical artifacts, but I heard rumors that this person wasn't just after any old enchanted trinkets. The rumor said he was looking to reassemble the legendary Atiesh, Great Staff of the Guardian. Thought shattered when Dalaran was destroyed. There are those who would see it reformed for good or ill. I knew right then I had to get there before an army of hard-headed adventurers descended upon the place, and one of them traded any of the fragments of the staff for a dented helmet and a handful of silver. That kind of artifact belongs in a museum. Belongs in a museum, chat. I needed a crew, though. God, I hate this font. It's so tiny. I needed a crew, and I had recently been acquainted with one such group in a recent expedition to Tanarus. They were a real ruthless, hard-boiled bunch, certainly not to be trusted, but my options were very limited, so I recruited them. We made our way to Deadwind and entered the keep. It was easygoing at first, and we made it into the main burial chamber without incident. Oh god, I can't. Guys, it's too much. It's too much reading. If you want to pause it and read it from there, go ahead. It's just like, it's poorly written. and the font sucks, and they need to find a better way to deliver that. I want that in like an actual quest window, because I literally can't read it.
Have a good one.
It appears that Jones's group successfully entered the crypt and happened upon a substantial cache of riches. The darkness both you and he described certainly seems magical in nature. Clearly their clumsy looting seems to have triggered a reaction from something malign. I've consulted my spell tomes, and I think I might have a potential solution to get you through that darkness. Should you still feel brave enough to proceed, come, let's speak further. Okay.
Later.
Can fashion a magical totem of sorts that would allow you to pierce the malign darkness and at least allow you to explore the crypts. I don't have all the components with me, however. Some of this may not be easy to find, but judging by what I've seen from you so far, I trust that you are resourceful enough to secure what is needed. Okay, now we have to gather stuff. Oh my god, this is a whole quest chain.
See you around.
Okay, what do we need here? Jesus. Jesus H. Christ. Okay, Blizz. All right. Oh, okay. Okay, Blizz. Thanks. I guess I'll be looking this up on Wowhead at some point. So yeah. Flame of Life, Ancient Ironwood Branch, Enthusiastic Wisp. I have no idea where to get any of this stuff. See, this is where, like, I hate having to go to Wowhead to do a quest. Oh, it's so annoying. Flame of Life, Ancient Ironwood Branch, Enthusiastic Wisp. What are the odds we can just buy this stuff on the auction house? What are the odds? Probably not very good. But we're obviously not going to find them here, so I guess we can leave here.
Need help? Have a good one.
I'm gonna check the auction house to see if we can find any of this stuff on the auction house. And yeah, I doubt we're gonna find an Enthusiastic Wisp on the auction house. I have no idea where that's gonna come from. But maybe the Flame of Life and the Ancient Ironwood Branch, maybe those are items that somebody's selling. I don't know what an Enthusiastic Wisp is, or where the hell I'm supposed to find it. Apparently they can be found in Winter Spring. I'm very, very far from Winter Spring. So no. The answer is no. We can't get any of this stuff on the auction house. This is going to be crap that's collected from mobs in various places in the world, so I am not going to worry about that right now. Did I mention that I hate attunements? Oh man, I hate attunements. I basically hate anything that locks players out of content. But yeah, at some point maybe I'll get this done. I'm going to have to figure out where to get all of these items. I'm going to have to travel to all those places and kill the mobs until they drop the items, etc. It could be like 10 hours to do this. Did I grab a stat stick? Not yet. I haven't got anything yet. There might be something off the Booty Bay vendor. So that's where I'm headed now. I'm going to go see if there's anything on the coin vendor before I spend 200 gold on a bow. There's nothing good on the auction house, and the only things on the auction house are either really bad or they are really expensive. So yeah, I'd rather not drop 200 gold right now, seeing as how I only have 336. But at the same time, we only have 34 tokens, so like there might be something on the auction house. It's probably going to cost a little bit more than this. But we'll go check it out and see. And then, you know, if we can ever find a bow, then we can set up a marksmanship build. I'm still not going to have a pet, so even if I do a range build, I still have to go lone wolf, unfortunately. So I don't know if that's going to work. But I don't have a pet. I've never trained a pet. I'm never going to train a pet. So I really don't know. There might not be a good range build for us that doesn't involve a pet. One of them is in the wetlands. Elemental dragon. Side of town by the mountains. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to type some stuff out in a notepad, and then I'm gonna have to do all the traveling. I don't really one of my biggest problems with SOD has been quests like this, where like you do a bunch of running back and forth. You run back and forth for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then you get a quest to run to 3 different places. And the travel to each place takes you 30 minutes for each item. And it's like, it seems like the devs think that questing in vanilla is supposed to be really freaking tedious. Like, that's the only way they make their content seem like vanilla content, is they're like, oh, we'll put a lot of travel. We'll make you travel to 17 different places and run back and forth a lot. That's what classic questing is about, right? But they always miss. It's just a miss. It always feels like just a big chore to do. And this is a perfect example of something that is strictly it's a big time waste, and it's a huge chore list, and I really don't like it. And I'm not a big fan of attunements in general. I think not having attunements is better for players because it just lets players do content. Letting players do content is king. Like, you just let the people do the dungeons, let the people do the raids. Don't trouble me with indecipherable attunement quests. I really don't like them. So I'm not in a hurry to go do it. Because to me, it's not enjoyable content to do. All right, let's check this. I didn't see any weapons, but we'll give it a little look. If I were a weapon, I'd probably be like at the back. No, they don't have any weapons off this vendor. This vendor actually does not sell any weapons, like, at all. So there's that. Absolutely nothing there. So yeah, we're kind of at a little bit of an impasse. I think tomorrow I will buy one of these molten core pieces. Like, let's pick out a molten core piece. Let's waste some more coins on something that might never be an item. Let's see. Do we even have enough coins? We have 34 coins. We're like a little bit short for most things. We can grab like bracers and belts. Let's just waste our money here. Bracers, belts. There we go. And now tomorrow I'm gonna have to go to Molten Core and find out what I'm supposed to do with these. You know, we're supposed to be able to trade these in at a vendor near the Molten Core entrance for some loot, some actual loot that we can actually wear. But I am out of time for today, guys. My son has an early swim practice, so I have to be going. Tomorrow we will do some more 5-man stuff. Maybe tomorrow we'll have time to do a raid. I would love to jump into Molten Core. We'll see if tomorrow we could do a Molten Core run. That would coincide really well with me finding the guy to trade these to for actual loot. So yeah, thank you guys for being here and hanging out with me. I really do appreciate it. I hope you have a good rest of your afternoon or evening time. As always, take care of yourselves out there in the real world and take care of each other. And we will see you back here again very soon. Bye for now.